Hey yo, how's it going today, guys? Welcome back to the Breath of the Wild semi-casual playthrough. And I'm hiding out inside the shrine because there's some wolves after me and I didn't really want to deal with them before I started the episode. So if you follow me closely, you will know that between the last episode and this one, I did the Ancient Guardian trick. And I didn't max out the Ancient Gears. Move my head. Ancient Gears. The one that I spawned, I posted the video of it. It spawned screws, springs, gears, and shafts, all four of them. But I didn't max out everything because you don't really need to. And the gears were kind of a pain to get, and I was kind of tired of doing it. And I mean, this is plenty for everything that I need and some. The reason I would max any of these out is to sell most of it anyway, at least half of them, because that's a good way to never need money again. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go down to Terrytown, which I warped here. And I'm going to sell a bunch of this stuff, buy the rest of the desert bow armor. I think I might come back and do that Great Fairy. Well, we'll do that after. I'm going to go to the tech lab, and I'm 99% sure I've already done the blue flame for the tech lab, and then we can get the ancient armor, and then once I get this fairy I can start maxing it out because I have all the parts. And I think that that's the plan to start off today. Okay. Right, I don't have the money yet, but I have the supplies to get the money. Yeah, so the most money you can make off this is getting 4 drops off the Ruined Guardian, and one of those being the core. I believe that value-wise it's core, shaft, gear, like they're in value order on the screen. But I mean, if you're playing casually and don't want to just max out money for the sake of maxing out money, this is way more than you should ever need. Sell 500 of them. And now we're rich. But there are things that cost 10,000. So you know what? We're going to get even more. Not all of them, because I do need some of them. So I had mentioned, I think in yesterday's episode, being tired, and how I had taken 2 naps during the day. It super backfired on me because after the naps I wasn't more awake. I was still tired. And then I just had trouble going to sleep last night, so I'm tired again today. I don't know what is up lately, but my sleep schedule is off kilter. And I decided yesterday that this weekend I will be out of town. I'm going to help my parents with some putting tin on a roof. It's not fun. It's going to be really hot because it's been like over 100 every day here for the last week or so, minus a few days. But it's work that needs to be done, and my parents deserve the help because they're great people. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm trying to pre-record a bunch of these. The one that goes up the day before this one is actually for tomorrow in real time, because this is Wednesday for me, and that goes up on Thursday for y'all. So I have to pre-record a couple more. I think I'm gonna do 2 today, and then I only need to do 1 tomorrow, but I'll probably do 2 also. I like recording them back to back. Alright, familiar name missing. I need 3 ancient cars for each piece. Well, looks like I'm not getting this full set of armor. I thought it was 1 per piece. It's okay. Major tests of strength have a 50% chance to drop a core. So I can get more of them. I need 2 more. Next we will go back here, get that Great Fairy, and then there's only the 1 more in the back of the desert, which I believe we're going to do the desert next. In fact, since I have the bow armor, I should look at what what I need to max that out, or at least power it up a little bit, because I do want to use it. I know that the set bonus gives lightning resist, which is nice for when you fight Thunderblight. Of course, I have the full rubber set, so if I work on that, then I wouldn't need the bow armor for it. That gives shock immunity with the powered up set. I was talking to my girlfriend earlier. I bought her for her birthday a really cute handmade crocheted Cubone. It's her favorite Pokemon. And I thought it was really cute. I think I already did this right. Did not. I did this in my solo play. Yeah, I bought her this crocheted Cubone, and I have it here because it came in like right after she left for Italy. Before she left for Italy, but we live a couple hours away, so I couldn't get it to her. And I have it here, and I was looking at it, and I really have been like interested in learning how to crochet. I know it's not a super involved, like it's not a super intricate skill. There's only like a few crochet patterns to my knowledge. Like I said, I don't know how to do it yet, but it's mostly patience, which I have in droves. And I think it'd be cool to make things like that just as a quarantine hobby. Other than that, I don't have like a lot of stuff to just talk about off cuff. I guess I could talk about for the Ruined Guardian glitch that I did. I really like doing that. It takes a little bit more editing, and obviously it being my first video, my commentary was a little all over the place and the cuts were sporadic. But I like making that kind of content. I like explaining mechanics to games, especially glitches, from a programming perspective, how it works. I remember the first time I played this game, like without knowing the glitches and stuff, I really liked breaking down the mechanics of the game and being like, oh yeah, I could do this because I understand that, you know, you do this to your... Oh no, my green screen. It's acting wonky. Don't look at that. I wonder if I can just fix that by turning the light. Oh, I can. I think I had turned my light... well, I moved the screen. I mentioned before, it's like right in the dead center of my room and divides my bed from my TV screen. So I think I think I can still power up the legs, but don't kiss me. Yeah, it splits my room in half. Anyway, yeah. So if y'all like that video and the explanation of game mechanics and or glitches, that's something that I'd be really interested in doing a series on. Even from like games that I'm not playing and such, if you have like a glitch that you think is interesting but don't understand, I could take a look at it and probably break it down just in a little separate video, and I think it'd be a fun series to do, just like how it works, video game edition. I really feel like I have no commentary today. That's wild. Usually I have things like on my mind to ramble about. That's really why one of the main reasons why I want to get into streaming. I like the idea of having a live chat to interact with versus just having to think of things off the cuff. I'm going to need a lot of white choo-choo jelly because I think I need that for the next upgrade level too. Most of the elemental armors require it on step 1 and 2. I believe I have an ice weapon though, so that should be okay. Really all on page 2? Oh no, here it is. Yeah, it does require white choo-choo and ice key swings, so just pain in the butt. This I can power up. Maybe I should have done some of this stuff off camera. It's really boring to watch. But I wanted to share the 999 before I sold a bunch of them. There's something going on in my life. One of my roommates, friends, he's gonna start a D&D campaign soon. 5e, which I've played a handful of times, just kind of as a walk-in character for some friends' campaigns. Most of my D&D experience is in Pathfinder, which is a lot more rules and complications. It's very, very intricate. Most D&D is, but I feel like classic D&D and like that series 5e it's complex as all D&D is, but there's less that players have to know, and it's more on the DM to know the intricate stuff. And I'm excited to have the chance to play again. It's been forever since I've played any D&D. I was looking at making a Tabaxi Rogue, which if you don't know anything about D&D, it's really fun, especially if you have the right group of friends to play with. I'm not a Tabaxi Rogue, Tabaxi Ranger, which I know Rangers are kind of subpar as far as classes for most people. Most people believe they're a lower tier class in 5e, but I really like that style of play. And Tabaxi, for the people who don't know, is like a cat race. I also know that they have like a lion race, lion people, and lions are my favorite animal, so I thought that would be really cool. But their stat bonuses kind of play into being more tanky. Like barbarians are really good for that race, and I don't like playing that style of play. Most of my experiences with rogue class, and I like sneak thief play. I remember the first time I played Skyrim doing the sneak archery, and it is busted in Skyrim. It's the best way to play it, but it's my favorite way to play. So I always like when my favorite style of play is not just like the you win. This is the busted class. So it was between a rock and a hard place. Stop clicking. I don't know if this is going to work anyway. Surprised that worked. Those bombs were really close together. Not only did it work, but we got a really good launch. Anyways, D&D, Skyrim, fantasy. I love fantasy stuff. I really want to... I've been thinking a lot about things I can do for quarantine because I've started to get bored sitting at home all the time after, I used to go out to bars every weekend to play darts and hang out with people in social settings. And I used to read a ton, and I love fantasy novels and stuff. So if anybody has any recommendation for fantasy novels as an adult, because I read them all growing up. As a reference, the Aragon series is my favorite book series of all time. The Inheritance Cycle, if you know it well. They changed because originally it was going to be the Aragon trilogy, or maybe he always planned on calling it the Inheritance trilogy, and then it didn't all fit in one or in the 3 books, so he added a 4th. No spoilers, but as much as I love that book series, I will admit that I don't like the ending very much. He could have there was a world of possibilities he could have gone with, and I think that the choice was low quality for me, at least. I mean, I'm sure there's people out here who enjoyed it. And in his defense, I feel like as an adult, if I reread that ending, I feel like I could resonate with it a little more. As like a teenager, I was like, this is dumb. But I don't want to spoil it, so we're not going to talk about it too much. Other books that I liked growing up, I really liked the Redwall. Was it the Redwall Chronicles? I really liked the author. I can't remember his name, but he did such a good job of capturing accents. The Redwall Chronicles are about like all of the characters in it are animals. The Redwall in itself was about a mouse main character, and he has to fight an adder, which is a snake that's menacing the Redwall Abbey, which is an abbey full of mice. And I believe that's the first one of the entire chronicles, and they aren't, to my knowledge, I don't remember any of those books being like linear stories. Like you never followed that mouse again, but it was all animal main characters in this huge animal world. But they were humanized, like they used weaponry, like swords and shields and stuff. And all the different animals were different dialects, as in like they were different regions of the world. And I really like how well that world was built. And I'm just glossing over this beautiful woman here. I'm sorry I didn't give her the attention that she deserved. Of course, I mean, as a kid growing up and liking fantasy, I read all of the Harry Potter books. I also did not like the ending of the Harry Potter books, and the meme spoiler that everyone talks about, I'm not gonna say it just because everyone knows, but that character that dies that everybody meme spoils now that the books have been out forever. That was like the last straw for me. The character who kills him, I couldn't like him. All right, I'm gonna talk about the character. Dumbledore is supposed to be this super wise and powerful wizard, and he just kind of gets like main charactered. He gets like, his character dies because he's not the main character, and that's the only reason. He's strong enough to survive, he's smart enough to survive, and he just, at the end of the book, starts making these really stupid decisions that ultimately like lead to his death. And it's like, oh no, he was making the smart play the whole time because this set up this and this. But no, it didn't. Nothing that he did like helped him in the long run, like helped the story. He died. The thing Snape did not help him story-wise at all. It was just like plot building for the main character, who, in my opinion, Harry, like, he just needed to do better. He reminds me of Frodo in the end of The Lord of the Rings when he starts being a super wimp at the end, and you're just like, oh my god, you're right there. Just finish the thing that you've been spending supposedly years trying to do, or months. I don't know how long the Lord of the Rings things were. Those were books that I actually didn't read. I read The Hobbit, and I really enjoyed The Hobbit. My problem is if I don't read a book series before I watch the movie, I like to have my imagination like run the show and like build the world for me, and then I can watch the movie afterwards and be like, okay, this lines up, or this doesn't, but you know, it's okay. Or in times when it's not okay, like the Aragon movie, which sucks. And everyone agreed that sucked. It was really bad. They just tried to smash too much into too short of a time, and I guess maybe too short of a budget. I don't know the other stipulations to it, but oh god, I just derailed my train of thought by thinking about the Aragon movie. It just killed my vibe. Dumbledore and Harry Potter. Oh, and Frodo. Yeah, I don't like the main character just like becoming a little baby towards the end of the series. And I don't think that Harry was like ever meant to be this, or Frodo were meant to be these like iconic, like, I saved the day heroes the whole time. But both of them, like, when it came down to like, this is your destiny moment, this is what you're supposed to do, and then they just kind of like punk out, and they can't like bring themselves to do it on their own. Not that I think that a main character has to do it by themselves, but I don't know, the way the writers went about it, I was not interested in. I do remember I reread, is the last Aragon book just called Inheritance? I don't remember. I lent it to a buddy and he kept the book, so I don't have that one. I need to rebuy it so I can reread the whole series. I do remember when I reread the final battle scene of Aragon, really liking how the battle played out. It's the parts after it that I didn't like. The world building, like how they settled, how they tied all of the loose ends They didn't really, is the problem. They said these ends are too loose, so we're going to do this instead. Okay. She looks like she has a beard. I feel like the game audio is super quiet. I hope it's like not super quiet on the recording ends. Because if you've noticed, I don't have my headphones on. Normally I do a bunch of audio passing and pass the audio from this TV to this TV and through the Elgato into my headphones. And instead I just kind of have the audio on low over here on the TV. But I can't have it, I have to have it really low, otherwise the mic will pick it up. And so anytime I stop talking, there's a very like deafening silence to me. You know what I just remembered? I said I was going to do Fireblight first. Oh, we got a Blood Moon. Okay, I have done the Blood Moon Shrine. I realized I said I was going to do Fireblight first, because I always do it last. And I hate the Yiga. Okay, come on, do your thing. Well, that's fine. We did like all the quest points up to the Yiga. And the blood moon rises once again. There's some other good book series that I read. Oh yeah, as far as the Redwall series goes that I was talking about earlier, I can't remember the name of my favorite one of those books because it's been like probably 15 or more years since I've read any of them. Maybe not that long. I did read a bunch of them in middle school. I think I might have finished all the ones that were out by the time I got to high school. Now I'm sure there's like 20 more because that was that author's like main selling series. But it was the one with the Badger main character. I believe there's 2 books with Badger main characters. So it's hard to specify, but whichever one of those was, it was the best one for me. The Badgers, if I remember correctly, it was either the Badgers or the Hares that were Scottish. I'm trying to remember. I always think of I think that the Hares had the Scottish accent, but maybe the Badgers were Celtic. I don't know. They were like big, brooding beasts that use like claymores and stuff. I always thought they were very cool. Oh yeah, this is the getup. Well, minus the wood shield. This is what I wear to the club. Well, minus the hello. Oh, I do have the wooden bow equipped. Besides the wooden bow, this is what I wear to the club. So we got Harry Potter, Aragon. Did not read Twilight because one, I was actually a little bit older than that. Like I remember a lot of the girls my age did read it, but it was mostly a younger thing, and then it was mostly for women. Just wasn't my jam. I don't really care about that. I don't care about like dark fantasy as far as like vampires. I don't care about undead things, I guess. Like zombies never interest me. I don't really care about zombie shows or movies. Not only do I not care about them, but like zombies very much disinterest me. And the reason being that I understand that like being undead, like you afford some sort of mysticism to how those beings exist, but in a logical standpoint, zombies are just like rotting bodies that would fall apart, so they're not scary at all. Like unless they're freshly dead, where their bodies are still kind of holding together, then they would just like fall apart. Even if they tried to bite you, their jaw would just like come unhinged. They couldn't do any damage. And if you're talking classic zombies, even if they're fresh, like with the rigor mortis and everything, they would be too slow to catch you. So you just ignore them, stay away from them until they're soft-bodied, and then they'll fall apart and they're easy to defeat. If you're talking like superhuman zombies, like virus zombies, those are actually pretty scary. Like, I didn't watch World War Z, but I know those. I Am Legend is the one that comes to mind, I think, where they're just like mutant humans, but I think they were more vampirific because they could only come out at night. They were like a weird virus hybrid, not classic zombies. Classic zombies are basically what I hate. There are alternate forms of them. Hate's not the right word. That I can't be bothered to care about. Vampires are cooler, but often like highly sexualized, or they have like only the goth appeal, which goth as an aesthetic is pretty cool, but it's not mine. I don't like that they became a super niche interest. I like the idea of vampires that can be like modern and forward thinking because they're immortal. They should be. Like I have watched a bit of the Castlevania series on Netflix. Me and my girlfriend were actually watching it on our vacation a little bit. And a little bit before that. She finished it, I didn't. But I do like Dracula in that. I think that for the most part, I haven't finished it, so like there's like a very depressed boy, I don't care, growing out of him, but I really like at the beginning where he's super highly advanced and forward thinking technology wise because he's lived forever and knows way more than everyone else. So that's interesting to me. What are some other undead tropes? Oh, I really like there's a meme on the internet about why you shouldn't be afraid of ghosts that I thought was very funny and true. And the meme is such that like either ghosts are corporeal or they aren't. If they're incorporeal, then you can't hurt them, they can't hurt you. They're just annoying. And if they're corporeal, then they can catch these hands. And I thought that was super funny. It's just like, yeah, if they can hit me, then I could probably hit them back. Commentary for this episode was all over the place. I guess I should come into these with a little bit more to talk about, so I'm not just rambling about random garbage. Luckily, it's almost over. And once this is over, I still have to record another one today, but I can take a moment to think about what I'm going to talk about instead of rambling about books and undead creatures. But maybe people enjoy that. It's always interesting to find out what people like in video series, because it turns out that, like, I always hear popular YouTubers saying, oh, you shouldn't make really, really long videos because people won't stick around to watch, or you shouldn't talk about this or that or whatever because people will get bored. And I'm like, well, those are the videos that I like watching the most. Like, there's PokeTubers. I was watching the cage lock between original 151 Vinny and Frank, Asteroid Videos, recently, and they did a like goal to where they did a 2-hour power, they did a 2-hour episode, and then later a 3-hour episode, and they were like, nobody's gonna watch this, and if they do, they're probably gonna watch in like 15-minute segments. I sat down and watched all of them at once, keeping in mind that like I don't super actively watch Pokemon Let's Plays. I listen to them more than anything. I treat them kind of like podcasts. So the longer the content, the more I enjoy it personally, because I can just put it on and like work. And then whenever something interesting pops up because they're screaming and freaking out, I can actually tune in, maybe rewind it and give them even more view time. So with that in mind, if you liked the episode, leave me a like, leave me a comment about some game glitches that you might want me to cover, or maybe book recommendations. There's a bunch of topics that I brought up that I would love some feedback on. And if you want to subscribe for more silly content like this, or gaming content, or programming, book talking, any of the things listed or more, do that. It helps me out. And if not, then I guess I'll see you when I see you. But either way, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.